Welcome to Sacred Magic. Violet is on a quest to bring sacredness back into our everyday experiences. Anyone can have an extraordinary life when they are able to tap into their sacred magic within. Violet and her guests will be sharing their divine passions, inspirations, and stories of connecting with their sacred magic. We are so happy you have joined us today. Let's get started with your host, the magical creator of Discover Your Spiritual Gifts, Vialet Rayne.
Hi, everyone. Welcome to Sacred Magic Podcast. My guest today is Dr. Sherry Bainbridge. She is part of my team at Discover Your Spiritual Gifts. Her background is she unlocks your true potential with guidance. Wow, I am good at this. She's a holistic doctor and hypnotherapist. Her services that she offers is a unique blend of Eastern, tribal, and Western philosophies to provide comprehensive healing tailored to your specific needs. You can experience rapid transformation, enhanced self-awareness, and sustainable well-being by working with her. She has a compassionate approach that helps you overcome obstacles, build resilience, and discover hidden talents. So I know she has something new she wants to talk about today. So we're going to wing this. We're going to go by the seat of our pants. So I hope you enjoy that. Dr. Sherry, thanks for being part of the show. Share with us a little bit, because you do so many things. What got you to do what you do today?
I have been intuitive all my life. And then in 2004 to 2007, I had two people total my car with me in it, a work accident, and I already had an injury from a previous individual. And I had the spinal doctor look at me and say, "Get ready, your life will be 350 pounds on the couch." And in my head, I said no, and I went and got my master's and PhD. When I was 9, I had a near-death experience. And in that experience, I learned I had some sort of purpose to do, which, of course, I came back as a human being with rocks all over my back, wondering what the heck this purpose is, and not being right about it the whole way. And now I am about to face my real purpose, and that is my freedom of awareness movement that I'm starting up. And thank you so much, Violet, for having me on your podcast, because I love what this woman does. And she's very much worth checking into and doing classes with for sure.
Oh, well, thank you. Thank you so much. So talk to us about this freedom movement that you're talking about. What is the baseline of that, and what got you interested in creating that to start with?
This came about in about the past month, and there have been so many miracles happen as I am learning how to align. And one of the things that my life seems to be about, because it's got a lot of extremes in this life and a lot of little things that I'm perfecting and doing, is that we kind of don't have a place to meet each other and develop kind of a family with each other. And I didn't expect this to happen or come up, but my whole purpose, my whole life theme seems to be that we can do different than what we've been doing, and what's not working needs to change. And I thought about my ability to have freedom of thought and how the controls and conditioning, manipulations take away people's freedom of thought, and it stifles our creativity and our connection to spirit to be able to determine truth for ourselves. And I'd like to create this community where it involves a lot of leaders and intuitive people and spiritual people to just kind of let go what hasn't been working in the past, and let's sort of develop a foundation that we can actually get some results from, and we can learn more about the quantum science that is supporting the woo-woo. By the way, woo-woo isn't woo-woo anymore, because quantum science and its entanglement theory and muon G-2 particle theory proves that this ability to tap into knowledge is available to all of us. So I want to develop classes, and I've got a couple of the people that might be involved. It's all a new thing, but it's definitely coming out in the next couple of weeks. So I'm super excited about it. To me, it sounds so much fun. There'll be games that we'll do and higher level psychic games for people like us that are leaders. And we really don't have a group to go to that does these more higher skilled things. And I think the average person would like to hear how we go about getting to the point of manifesting and connecting to energy and being able to have an influence in our life. And I'm a big believer that we have that ability to do that. And I just think it's time for somebody to step up and say, let's change some things so we can get reconnected to the amazing, incredible, ordinary human being that we are.
I love that. I love that. So for somebody that's listening that feels like they're trapped in this old cycle, this old repetitive space that they're in, what recommendations would you make for them to shift and change? We can talk about change, but what does that really, really mean for us?
Well, as I mentioned, the word alignment, when we come about the word of alignment, you have to develop your inner self, your outer self. You have to have some level of understanding of energy and how it works. And when you pull all this together and you've done the right kind of work, and I'm talking about things like the self-awareness. You're aware all the time. And when you understand the little steps that all of us have gone to in order to do that, it really is a level of freedom. I don't have the loopy thoughts in my head like many people do. I get caught up like everybody and beating myself up, but I stop myself and go, this isn't where I'm going to be. There's some different techniques and ways to handle this as you are going through that self-awareness and making changes within yourself and being aware that too, you have messages that come to you in so many different ways, whether it's rising up an emotion to give you a message or you're being tapped on the shoulder to get attention to say, pay attention. But we get all these messages that show us all the time where to go. And our life becomes easier. I settle back understanding that every problem I solve leads me to that next step. And everything I've been through, which has been quite the journey, and I'm working on my 5th book now, and that'll be including this journey that I've been on. And this ability to get that guidance just is mind blowing. So many amazing things happen when you actually do get aligned. You know, Violet, the other week I had a car problem. Well, I asked Spirit, should I drive up and do my client, take care of my client and drive back, take that risk? And it said, yeah, do so. But I went to the mechanic and the mechanic touched the part and it fell apart in his hands. I was within minutes of my engine being totally destroyed. But I believe that Spirit helped me in that because I'm aware and paying attention to these messages that come through. And this is such a comfort because now you're not going through life all by yourself and you know the pieces to put together in order to maneuver in this 3-dimensional world as a 5th-dimensional person.
Well, I think where most people get stuck, Sherry, is in worry. Worried, they're sitting in this struggle, this challenge, and they get stuck in this worry. And I think it's hard. The hardest thing to do is to pull yourself out of that cycle. So, what would you tell someone that today is just sitting with worry? That's all they do is worry about tomorrow and what's going to happen. Because shifting that is the most powerful thing that we can do to move forward. And so, what would you tell somebody that comes to you and you find that they're really stuck in that worry? Because that's misalignment for me.
Absolutely. And thank you for that question. I think that's an excellent question for people to hear an answer to. We are 90% energy, and it is agreed in all medicine and all science around the world that 90% of all illness and disease is stress related. So when you get caught up in worry, all you're doing is supporting the large corporations, supporting the medical industry, because it becomes costly to you. And not only that, with the universe that, and quantum science talks about this, it responds to you. So when you put out a lot of worry, it's going to go, oh, yeah, baby, I'm going to send you more worry because this is exactly what you're asking for. This is why it's so important to rise above these tactics that have been used to keep us in a stressful life. And when we're in that stress and worry, we can't create, we're not aware, we're very self-involved, and it doesn't go anywhere other than attracting exactly what we really don't want. So when we get rid of that worry and we realize that, we take one step at a time to get there. The hardest thing I've ever been through, Violet, was PTSD freeze. And you can see the tears already well up in my eyes. That's tough. That's tough. You are stuck on the couch trying to get out of the feeling that if you just don't move, nothing's going to happen to you. You're going to be just fine. And it becomes such a mindset that day after day, there you are beating yourself up because you simply cannot physically move. I did not seek American route on that because I know this is within me that I have to take care of, and Spirit will lead me how I need to. So I took one step, and then I took the second step, and then I took a third step. And before you knew it, my dishes were done, my house was caught up, I was starting to feel a little more empowered. And it changes things because then the universe responds by reacting to that, bringing you exactly what you're asking for. And that is health and healing and awareness and clarity, understanding what you can do and what not to do in order to maneuver this, what seems to be a very dangerous and tumultuous world that we are in. Does that answer your question, Violet?
I love that. I love that. And what, something I will add on to that, when we're in worry and we're in that distress. Now, I understand Dr. Sherry couldn't really move, right? She had some physical limitations. But if you're just sitting in worry and distress, if you'll go play, go color, go sit on a swing, go walk through the nature, go sit under a tree and play your favorite music. If you can get out of that worry and get to a place of creativity, playfulness, joyfulness, then you can pull yourself out of that. And you've got to be very aware that sitting here in this worry and this despair isn't helping. Doesn't help. I had a tea party this week, and one of the ladies said, I don't worry. And I was like, good for you. I wish all of us could say that. I love that. She goes, I don't worry. It doesn't help us. It doesn't get anywhere. And if we could all have that attitude, that I'm not going to worry about it, it's all going to work out, wouldn't our life be so much different? I think creativity and play kind of helps us when we're in that space of, I don't know what to do next. And then all of a sudden, Spirit gives you ideas in that time of play and joyfulness because you're not sitting in that low vibration energy. You're sitting a little bit higher. And then you have a little bit more control over what's happening. Remember, we're all magical creators and we're powerful beings and we create our reality. So you have to think about, what are you spending all your time focused on, because that's going to become your reality. And when you can really understand that, and that's a big shift for most of us that have been trained in other ways, it's a really big shift on changing that perspective. So
what you brought up, Violet, is beautiful. Let's go, and I want to add in one thing to it, is one of the most simple ways to raise your vibration and get out of the worry and get out of that loop that's going on is just this. A big smile. It changes your energy from head to toe. It is that simple. It's awesome. I love that stuff.
And it might not feel that simple. I know that some of you listening are like, you just don't understand, Violet. I'm in this place. It's really dark. it's really tough. I'm having a really, no, I get it. I've been there. Dr. Sherry's been there. We understand what it is to be in those challenges, those opportunities, those spaces. And here's the thing, it's how you see it and it's how you move through it that makes the largest difference. And you grow through that process as you're like, okay, I got this. I know how to move through this. It changes everything. It just takes your willpower and your choice to choose how to kind of move through it. So I love this conversation.
And one of the things that hold people back from taking these steps that you're talking about is that we have been taught that being uncomfortable is something we should avoid. When you are going through changes, when you are learning new things, when you are touching upon things you need to take a look at, you're going to feel uncomfortable. So the more uncomfortable you feel, consider the possibility that what you are learning is to be embraced. So feeling uncomfortable is not something to run away from. It's actually something to run toward when you're doing this type of work. What do you say to that, Violet?
I love that. I love that because, as a society, more and more, we resist change. And change is how we evolve, how we grow, how we move through things. And change, believe it or not, is just part of our life. If you haven't noticed in the last 25 years, change is constant. We are constantly in change, whether it's changing a job, whether it's changing a relationship, whether it's the environment outside changing, how we shop has changed, how we go to dinner has changed, how we pick up food has changed. We are in constant change. And when you can get comfortable with that and lean into that and just accept the fact that things are constantly changing. But I also think in that reality, we have to be grateful for what we have now as well. Because I don't know about everyone listening. There have been many restaurants that have closed that I loved, many shops that I love to go to that are no longer existing. I wished I'd have been grateful for those when I had them. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you so much for having this offering. Thank you so much for giving me this experience because we never know when we won't have that experience again, when it won't exist. And I think having a life of gratitude in a world of change is so, so important. And it helps us. It helps amplify what we need to bring in and to be joyful, to see that glass half full instead of half empty, right? See all the positives. And sometimes in the toughest situations, just sitting down and going, okay, I'm going to list 10 things I'm grateful for today, even though I can't see them right now. We're going to start. Okay, I'm grateful that I have some place to sit. I'm grateful that I'm still breathing. I'm grateful.
It becomes really simple, doesn't it? Where sometimes I'm grateful to have shoes to put on my feet. I'm grateful to have toenails. Can you imagine what it's like to live without your toenails? Sometimes life can get so difficult that people like myself, we fall back on even things that extreme to get ourselves back into that space of gratefulness and appreciation, because don't we want to be appreciated and grateful too? So the universe responds in that way. And when we do things like this, we raise our vibration, we raise our light, and the light starts to infiltrate the darker areas and it expands. So if we heal one person, then there's going to be another and another. And as we get together as a group, it gives more power and influence that we could absolutely have over the earth that we're living in.
I love that. I love that. So this new program that you're creating, who would benefit? Who needs to check it out? Who needs to look at it?
People that feel they have a high psychic ability, the teachers, the healers, the alternative people, even the licensed medical people that have an interest in this higher level learning, as well as anybody that is wanting to expand in this area and become reconnected to how what we're talking about really works. And in this freedom of awareness movement, it invites everybody in. Although we are not a shelter for criminals or pedophiles or anything like that, we are a place that is safe. It is for all genders, human beings, human-like, humankind, hybrids, extraterrestrials. I don't care. We've had these individuals and beings on our earth all this time. So let's just get together and kind of a family to support each other in a little bit different way in moving forward, where we can take, like I said before, the good that's really working and expand on what we're learning and evolving into when it comes to that real connection with energy and spirit and science and God.
I love that. So what are some of the things, because I know you have a broad range of offerings. So share with us, if we go to your website, what are all the things that we might find there that we might be interested in doing?
I offer holistic consultations. The purpose of that is helping people pull together a plan with alternatives and with Western medicine and so forth that will work for them. I love and put a lot of attention on my holistic integrated hypnotherapy. I am a master at this. I've done hundreds and hundreds, a couple of thousand of them. It's just the coolest thing to do because not a single person is the same. Everything's different, and I walk away learning something new because everybody's learning from each other all the time. I offer general hypnosis sessions. I offer moving into the classes sometimes and moving into the future, going into the past, revisiting a past life. When I do these, I also have the person meet their team, their guardian, their angels, and they actually go through their death and on to the other side. I love the hypnotherapy because it is so expansive. But I also offer other things. I don't have on my website Reiki, but I'm working on a Reiki program. I'm working on that 5th book I told you. So many things like you. I've got all these irons in the fire. I'm also going to be offering with the Freedom of Awareness program, since the teachers aren't set up and so forth, that someone can learn about the classes I'm about to list on there that I will do. They can pay me an hourly rate, and that will be on the website also. And I will teach whatever they are wanting to tweak and pull together for themselves. And this is in the meantime while other people are getting involved in this because it is just growing at a rapid rate. I hope I can keep up on this, but it's fun. Helping people like Vialet does, where I do tarot readings and other readings. I'm a medical spiritual intuitive. So all of that comes into play when I do my readings, which I've done since I was a little kid. I don't know where all these skills come from, and I really can't care. I'm here living this life, and I'm just trying to make it through this life like most people are.
I love that. I love that. Well, you can check out Dr. Sherry's website, find out more about her offerings and what she offers, and also sign up for a newsletter, which she will be giving out information on all of her new programs and things that are coming forward.
And that's holisticcollaboration.com.
Absolutely. I love that. Thank you for being on the show, taking the time today to sit and chat with me. It's been amazing.
Always a pleasure, Violet. Always. Thank you so much.
Thank you for watching. I hope you'll like, comment, and follow us on your favorite channels. Just helps us with our reach so that more people share this episode with a friend or one of our other episodes to get other people listening. We try to provide useful, magical, and sacred tools for your everyday life. Have a great week, and I hope to see you soon.
Thank you for joining us. To find out more about Vialet, head over to discoveryourspiritualgifts.com. You can also send a personal message to Vialet through email, violet@discoveryourspiritualgifts.com. If you love the show, subscribe to our podcast on Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, or Spotify. Until next time, remember, We are meant to have abundant and joyful lives. We hope to see you soon at Discover Your Spiritual Gifts.